Alright, this video is going to be about how to calculate percentages, and it's just going to be really quick and easy. I've got a few examples here. Okay, and our first one is, what is 15% of 2985? Okay, and all you're really going to do here is convert the percentage to a decimal and then multiply. Okay, and if I had this problem on a test or something, a little clue or keyword in here is of. So if you see a percentage problem with of, you're probably going to need to multiply. Okay, so you may want to keep that in mind. All right, so how do we convert a percentage to a decimal? Well, all you need to do is write down the number without the percentage sign, and imagine that there is a decimal on the end of the number, which there is, and then move it over to the left 2 times. Okay, so 15% is the same thing as 0.15. All right, and then we just multiply times 29.85. I'm going to put this in my calculator here. And that is 4.477. All right, and in this case, you may want to round to the nearest cent. So 4.48, if you were maybe calculating a tip in a restaurant or something like that. Okay, so this is 15% of 2985. Now, if we were calculating a tip, you might want to know what is the total that you would pay. Okay, and a way you could do that is, instead of calculating 15% and then adding the bill here, 2985, plus this, the tip, you can do it all at once with a little shortcut. So another way we could think about this is, what is 115% of 2985? Okay, so we're going to calculate 100%, which is the whole bill, and 15% more. All right, so that's kind of like rewriting the problem to this. What is 115% of 2985? Okay. So again, all we do, convert our percentage to a decimal and multiply. Okay, so 115 becomes 1.15 times 2985 is 34.327. But again, you may want to round to the nearest cent or the nearest penny. So 34.33 is how much you would pay. Okay, taking a look at our second problem here. It says, how much will I pay for shoes that cost $64.99 if they are discounted to 30% off? Okay, and the key to these percentage problems is really to figure out what it's asking you. So this problem is not asking what is 30% of $64.99. It's saying take 30% off and then tell me that number. So really, it's the same problem as before, just worded a little bit differently. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is convert the percentage to a decimal. So this is 30. Move the decimal over twice. Would give you 0.30, or you could leave the 0 off at the end. 0.3 is the same as 0.30. And then just multiply times the price. So $64.99. And I'm going to put this in my calculator. And that gives me 19.497. Okay, and you'd probably want to round this to the nearest cent, the nearest penny, so that becomes 19.50. All right, so that is 30% of the cost. So if you just want to do it the long way, you do $64.99 minus the discount, $19.50, and that would give you how much you pay. Or if we use our shortcut from last time, again, all you're doing is thinking about the problem a little bit differently. So instead of thinking, all right, what is 30% of this? Take that off the price. You could reword this problem to what is 70% of the cost. Okay, and where does the 70% come from? Well, 100% of the cost is $64.99. We know that. Taking off 30% is the same as taking 70% of the cost. So 100 minus 30, 70%. So we know how to work this problem. What is 70% of $64.99? Convert the percentage to a decimal. 0.7 times $64.99. And that gives me 45.493, which again, rounding to the nearest cent, would be 45.49. Okay, and that is how much you pay. Okay, taking a look at our last problem here. This is a compound interest problem, and it says if my bank account earns 2% interest per year with $10,000 deposited, how much money will I have in the account after X years? And the X here means whatever we want it to mean, really. It's how many years you leave the money in the account without withdrawing anything. So there is a little formula you can use that will speed this up. So if we just wanted to know 1 year, we know how to do that. It's the same thing as asking what is 2% of $10,000. And you would add that to 10,000, or you could use the shortcut from before and do 1.02 times 10,000. That would give you the amount after 1 year. But this formula here basically speeds all that up. And the parts of it that change are going to be the amount in the account, which I have right here, the interest rate in decimal form, that's important, and the number of years, which in this case was X. So if we wanted to know after 5 years how much is in the account, that's pretty easy. So we just plug in our numbers to the formula. So the amount in the account at the start is 10,000 times, I have in parentheses 1 point. The I is the interest rate in decimal form. So in this case, we're getting 2% interest on our money. So 2%, I'm going to do this at the top here. 2% equals, move the decimal over twice. There was no 0 in front of it before, so you need to fill in the gap there. 0.02, 1.02. And you raise what's in the parentheses, the big set of parentheses, to X, which is the number of years. So we said 5. And that's it. So if you just enter that in a calculator, 10,000 times 1.02 to the 5th power will give you 11,040 and 81 cents. All right, and again, so the X here, that's anything you want it to be. If you want to know 10 years, 20 years, you can do that. So, okay, I hope this was helpful. Kind of just an overview of different percentage problems you might come across.